name is Jeea. Welcome to my channel. I am currently going through the IVF process in Korea right now. I am 43 years old and my AMH is 0.3. Today, I want to talk about the IVF timeline that occurs in Korean clinics. The two clinics that I've been to, they are the most popular, the most well-known, and the biggest. The first one I would say is a bit smaller compared to the second hospital that I'm currently going to now. Just to explain the system, how it works, you walk into the door and there's a kiosk in front. So I push in my, we have an identification number in Korea that we use, but also they provide you with the barcode that you can also scan. And this is to let the hospital know that I've arrived. And now they could put me in line of the doctor's office. So I go up to the 4th floor and that's where my doctor is. And she has a waiting area in front of her office, like a door that goes into her little office. And there's also a big desk with a lady behind it, well, probably a nurse. A few minutes later, the nurse will call me up. Then she will ask me, when did you start your period? When was your last period? What are you here for? Then I wait until I am called by the nurse inside the office to go inside. Usually I go in the morning because I work. My work starts at 8:40, so I try not to miss any of my work since I do make these office visits quite often. So the earliest that this hospital is able to receive patients is at 7:30. Now, what I learned later on, and I also try to find a hack for it, if you make an appointment for 7:30, it doesn't mean that I'm the only one at 7:30. You will have 10 other patients. I actually don't know the exact number, but you're waiting together for the 7:30 spot. Which means that if I want to get in there, see the doctor at 7:30 and head out by at least 8:30, I need to get there at least an hour early. So it's a lot of time waiting. And when I get in, I go super early. I make sure that my name is on top of the list so that when I see the doctor, there are other steps behind that, and I want to make sure that I go to work in time. When the nurse inside the doctor's room calls my name, I go in, we say a short hello, then they say, we're gonna have you do the ultrasound first. So there's a little curtained area where I can take off my bottoms and put on this cute little dress and go and sit on the ultrasound chair. Here, the doctor who I am seeing, who is prescribing all the meds, she is the one that is doing the ultrasound. Sometimes she'll explain things as she is showing to me. And then we will go back to the desk area and she will explain to me the number of follicles that she sees, the condition of my ovaries, and then decide and recommend the dosage, what type of hormonal stimulation shots she wants me to take, for how many days, and then which day to come back for the next visit. So in total, there's about 2 to 3 doctor's visits before the egg retrieval. And in different cases, you might have to come back the next day, but usually it's 3 or 4 days after you see the doctor that you are back. Next, I go downstairs and I have to take a number. After I pay for the services, I go to the side of the building where there's a new number machine for me to wait for the 주사실, which is the room where you get your shots and get your blood work done. Once my number is called, usually it doesn't take too long, maybe 10 minutes. I go inside and there's a lot of nurses and tables within one room. So you go to the nurse that is calling your name and I show her my paperwork. Then she takes out all the shots, all the needles. And if it's my first time using it, that's where she will explain to me how to use it. And then I also get my blood work there too. So after that, then I step out. There were 2 things that this hospital did that was different from my new hospital that I had transferred to. Is number 1, they do something called a time-lapse observation where they have a camera watching the growth of the embryo, I think every hour. And the day of my transfer, when I did my 3-day fresh transfer, they gave me a picture of the eggs as it grew day by day, hour by hour, which was really interesting to see. And I think it was helpful for them to also observe, is it growing normally? Are the cells dividing correctly? and that was extra charge. I don't think it was covered by insurance. Also, they allowed me to do the egg retrieval without anesthesia, and this was recommended to me by the doctor because I said, oh, my parents are in town, I want to have a quicker recovery, and I only had one egg to take out. So she recommended, hey, if you do it without anesthesia, you can come earlier in the day, you can leave soon after, and it won't take the full day to recover from the surgery. So I did try that, and it is a really weird feeling. I wouldn't say it's painful, but you do feel the pressure of this instrument coming in and piercing through, I don't know what is piercing through my, wherever the eggs are stored in, I guess the follicles, the round follicles. I can feel them disinfecting me inside my ovary. So it is a strange feeling, but definitely bearable, and the procedure is done so quickly, within 5 minutes or even less. Would I recommend other women to do it? Yeah, if you're not scared. I would say if it's your first egg retrieval, go under, but if it's your second, third, or if you only have one egg to take out, I would say spare your body from going through anesthesia. It's not always good for you, and try it. The reason why I decided to move hospitals is because the doctor, she was supportive, but we tried all the different medications that the hospital offered, tried different dosages. I just felt like she wasn't tailoring the treatment to me. And this is a big hospital, so I am going to be feeling like one of many. Like, this is a factory system. Every time after the egg retrieval, about 2-3 days later, they will give me a call and they would say, oh, we don't think your embryo will grow beyond day 3, so what do you want to do? And I'm on the line like, I don't know what to do. But it felt like they wanted me to do the egg transfer or the embryo transfer, as it might give a higher chance for the baby to survive. So I did that the first 2 times there, not knowing anything, you know, like I'm trusting the doctor that she knows what she's doing. But because the 2 transfers didn't work out, and I was putting myself under all of this like emotional roller coaster of like, am I pregnant, am I not, and being really sensitive with all my symptoms, that the next time I went in, I said, you know what, can we just grow the embryo in the lab? You know, next time I would prefer that you don't call me to let me know the eggs will not go beyond 3 days. Just let it grow. Let it grow to day 5. If it grows to day 5, then let's try the PGTA test. So that was the last conversation, and also I wanted to try full dosage. She had me on mild dosage. On January, I went full dosage. It wasn't to the effect that I wanted to. I thought I would get like 10. Maybe I had 2 eggs or 3 eggs, I don't remember. We realized that my ovaries, it doesn't do well with too much. And unfortunately, I ovulated before the egg retrieval, so that was a bummer. Let me tell you about the second hospital, this hospital that I am currently going to. The doctor is a much older gentleman, and he sings hymns. I could hear him singing in his office as I'm waiting outside for the appointment. The wait is a lot longer, and the system here is quite different. So what you do is, as I walk in to the front, there is an app where I could put myself on the waiting list before I even walk up the stairs. My mom told me about this high pass program where I can give them my credit card, and because they're charging me automatically, I'm able to fly through the different facilities without going down to pay for it. Without the high pass, I had to go to the front desk, pay for the doctor visit, go to see the doctor, then come back down, pay for the ultrasound, then go up and get the ultrasound done, then come back down, pay, and then get my shots and the blood work done and so on. So it was a lot of back and forth. This hospital does take minimum 2 hours, maximum 3 hours. The other day, I arrived by 10:18 and I left the hospital around 1. It's pretty bad. That's because I couldn't make an appointment because my period had started. There was a lot of people that day. So let's say I've made an appointment And I usually make an appointment at 8:30. This is the earliest time that the doctor can see us. Similar to the first hospital, I go an hour early, extra early, because I want to be on the waiting list before all the other people that have also been scheduled for 8:30. I don't know why they do this. I first go to the ultrasound. I put myself on the waiting list and then I wait. The longest I've waited was about an hour. The shortest has been maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. There are 2 offices for the ultrasound. You have to see which room you are called on. They'll always ask you to go to the restroom before. And when I go into the ultrasound room, it's also another line of ladies waiting on the couches. I think there's 5 rooms in one of the ultrasound rooms, and the other one has 2. You go in, there are lockers, dressing room, you take off the bottom, they give you a disposable skirt that you can wear. The first hospital, it was cloth skirt, so I think they would have to wash it. So here, it's done differently where the doctor doesn't come and do the ultrasound, it is an ultrasound technician. I tried asking them a question one time and the lady said, you go ask the doctor, he will tell you. So I was like, oh, okay. Another lady that was a little bit nicer, I just said it, under my breath, oh, there's 5 growing. There's 5 eggs growing. And she's like, yes. So it depends on the technician, but they're not supposed to explain anything to you. I guess that's to speed up the process. So once I'm out of the ultrasound room, then I go to the front of my doctor's office. There's couches around, and you just wait and wait until your name comes up to number 1. Before that, like, remember I told you about the app that has my barcode? So I'm gonna scan it to make sure that I'm on the waiting list. Just like the first hospital, you see the doctor for less than 5 minutes, sometimes 2 minutes. It's only longer if I have questions or if he has the BGTA results to explain to me, or the results of my egg retrieval. There is another nurse inside the office with him who will jot down the notes. And at the end, I come out and there's like a tall table that you stand next to, and the nurse comes out, gives me the paperwork, tells me what to do next, which is usually at this hospital, I get my blood work done almost every time. He wants to check my hormonal levels, make sure that everything is functioning properly. And also getting the meds is a separate unit. So meds, shots, getting the shots and getting your blood work done, they're 3 different offices and they're tiny. So they could only take, the blood work people, they could only take 2 people at a time. The medication little booth, there's only 2-3 people. And then even the front desk area, there's about maybe 4. So for such a big hospital, I was surprised to see the lack of manpower in these areas, and all of us are having to wait 2-3 hours, which is exhausting. And the way that things work here with the egg retrievals is that once I get it done, they tell me to come back 10 days later for the results. But unfortunately for me, egg retrievals at this new hospital, it hasn't gone well. We have been able to do the PGT testing quite a few times, which I was never able to do in the first hospital. So that's been pretty awesome. Once I get the news, I didn't work out this time, then I go downstairs, I pay for that, and then I go home. Then a few days later, or maybe a week later, I start my period, so I'm back at it again. So it's a lot of hospital visits. So that's pretty much it. Here are some differences, some observations that I've made, some tips, and I hope that if you do decide to go to these 2 hospitals, and once you go there, you'll know exactly which ones I'm talking about. Maybe you don't like these big factory-like hospitals, and maybe you want something a little bit more personal, more tailored, and there are a lot of smaller clinics. Definitely go check it out. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe, like, and follow along. Bye-bye.